right, here we go. We got the victory music, but you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? The battle of the 6 and 7 seed in the East took place in Madison Square Garden tonight. Knicks and Pacers in Game 2 of their 4-game series. Welcome back, RJ Barrett. Broadway Barrett was in his bag early. 16 points at the half. Had a couple of nice three-pointers. Looked like there was no rust with that injury to the offhand. Knicks jumped out to a 25-point lead with 7 minutes in the third quarter. And just like that, we had a cardiac Knick affair. It's never a dull moment between the double teams, the traps, the blitzing, getting out in the fast break. Buddy Hield, Mathurin, the Knick killer, TJ McConnell. The Pacers would not go quietly into the night. And as we got into the fourth quarter, man, we had an absolute dogfight. But thankfully for Captain Clutch and thankfully for Quentin Grimes, the Knicks were able to escape embarrassment and beat the Pacers, man, 119-113. KFTV postgame live presented by Manscaped, CP the franchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Are you not entertained, people? Are you not entertained? Unreal. Unbelievable, man. No lead is safe, especially with these Knicks, man. Shout out to RJ. Like I said, he looked good coming back in. It was good to see him pick up the offense in the early stretch. Brunson as well, because Julius was like a deer in the headlights the entire game. Pacers threw that double team straight at him, and JD, you talked about this on the last show. These teams are gonna make him make a decision with it, and between physically, mentally, he just didn't look like he just looked out of sorts the entire game. And I thought the Pacers did a good job of taking him out of the game. So thankfully, RJ and Brunson were able to pick it up. I love Quentin Grimes' game and activity on both ends of the floor, especially early, harassing Halliburton. His help defense was good. Shot a couple of nice three-pointers there. But no lead is safe with the Knicks. Even when Halliburton leaves this game in the third quarter, Knicks have a 25-point lead. And just last night, right on cue, as I'm on SNY and I'm talking about why the Knicks are blowing these leads, I said it's part coaching, it's part on the players. Players, when they're executing in pressure situations, inbounding the ball, handling the double teams, handling the blitzes. And just like that, this Knicks team was coughing the ball up left, right, and center. And that is what the Pacers thrive off of. They're top 10 in the league in steals, top 10 in the league in blocks, and number 1 in fast break points. They only had 5 fast break points in the first half and finished the game with 21. They got out and ran, out-hustled the Knicks. TJ McConnell killing us. Stumbling and bumbling. RJ can't inbound the ball. He's turning it over. Fouls Buddy Hield on a 4-point play in crunch time. But like I said, Brunson, Captain Clutch, comes through with 7 points in crunch time, and Quentin Grimes follows that up with, and finally when he gets in the game, follows that up with 5 points, and the Knicks are able to get out of there, preventing another meltdown against the Pacers. Your thoughts?
A win is a win.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, because we're here talking about a win. So, it's just the roller coaster with this team. And it becomes more difficult to evaluate them and try to see what they could build on. I think you can say the way they closed that last bit where they got Brunson hit that open three, and they created some separation there after the timeout. I'm hoping they take that moment, that sequence, and they can build on that and just learn how to close out these games. It's difficult also, CP, because this is RJ's first game back.
Yeah.
So as you saw with the closing lineup, it looked a little different. And then you saw Tibbs make an adjustment, with under a minute to go where he went with Grimes. So there's some figuring out to do here. as we start to go on a run now with RJ. And so let's see, what this team evolves. Because I actually think Brunson has gotten even a little bit better in this run where with RJ out, because Brunson's been more of an aggressive scorer.
Yeah.
And so, let's see. And you saw early on when they were all clicking, the Knicks looked like a very good team.
Right.
And then, building the 25-point lead was for a reason. They got up there because, they were difficult to defend. And that was with Halliburton on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So the Knicks have something here to build on in terms of the positives. Now, the negatives, CP, they have to figure out a way to listen. NBA is a game of runs.
Yeah.
This is, I've mentioned a few times, this is a very, very just strange season in the NBA, not only from a Knicks perspective. Just look at these scores on a nightly basis. You're seeing a lot of teams blow leads. You're seeing a lot of just, upsets. However, I mean, look at tonight. The Pistons, beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 135 to 118. Not that the Minnesota Timberwolves are a great team, but I mean, you would think the Timberwolves could beat the Pistons.
Right.
So you're seeing that. However, this team has different expectations, in my estimation. This team, when you have a Jalen Brunson, you're giving $100 million to Julius Randle, you're giving $100 million to RJ Barrett. Pretty much you're kind of stating, at least for now, that you have a core. Your expectations to me have to go a little bit higher. And they have to figure out a way to close these games. I think, CP, it gets to a point now where once you get a sample size of blowing leads, you got to look at what can I do to make an adjustment on this to see what we can try to close out these games. One of the things that you're starting to see with these trends is in the fourth quarter, the Knicks don't have enough in the tank to score points.
Bro.
Only 24 points tonight in the fourth quarter. Their fourth quarter has been their worst offensively in terms of scoring the basketball. So you're starting to see the other team, a little bit more fresh in the fourth quarter. Look at RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett tonight played the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Was 1 of 7 in the fourth after he had a strong start. Again, his first game back, and you see that he starts to get cold in the second half, and you play him the whole fourth. That's something that I think you just have to look at closely there, make adjustments there. Quentin Grimes doesn't play the whole fourth quarter until the end.
Right.
Don't understand that when, he was shooting well. I think he finished the game with about 18 points, and he was 6 of 11. He shot 50% from 3. One of those 3 was a key one to close out the game. So, I'm going to give Tibbs a little bit of a pass tonight on Grimes, only because it's RJ's first game back, but it's hard to do when you're seeing a trend here where the Knicks, Halliburton was out. It gets to a point, it doesn't even matter who it is
Right.
out there. So that's why I say, CP, when you see that the other team is not necessarily the factor, it's you have to look internally what we need to do. And I think they need to start managing these minutes better, try something new. It's going to be interesting to see what's the closing lineup now with RJ and Grimes. Tonight it was IQ. Do you go small ball or do you go traditional? Tibbs has a lot of things to think about, and I hope he makes the right decisions because these leads, man, they need to stop.
Leads are dwindling, man. And you hit it on the head with the minutes. Julius 39, and I thought he was just out of sync the entire game. Mitch 38, Brunson 42. I mean, Jalen Brunson played the entire third and got 1 minute of rest and came back into the fourth. RJ 41 coming back. Julius got to play the entire third and got 3 minutes of rest in the fourth. These guys look gassed. So part of it, as you said, they've got to figure out how to stagger these minutes so that the bench isn't entirely exposed. Hartenstein's minutes have to come to a close. That's number one, right? It's the experiment is over. It's been brutal. McBride, I've been telling you guys this, and again, I don't want to harp on this too much. They did win the game, but I'm just looking at it down the line in the future. Right? They need reinforcements. This is a battle of 6 and 7 seed. They could finish anywhere between 6th, 7th, 8th. Who knows? When they're going to get into the playoffs, they need reinforcements. And you look at McBride, his defense is good. His defense is great. It's great when you can pick up at 94 feet and take a guy off his game and take some seconds off of the shot clock. Have a team running their offense a little bit late. What Deuce brings on defense is great. But if you're a complete zero on the other end, that's going to hurt the team. Look how fast Jalen Brunson had to come into this game. Look at Philly's situation. Philly has made Matisse Thybulle completely situational. You have an Andre Roberson situation going on now. In the league, you can't just be one-dimensional, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You got to be able to put the ball in the hole, especially when McBride is getting wide open looks. Especially when it's getting wide open looks. Now, you only had 2 shots tonight. Again, I'm not trying to harp on this game. I'm just giving an example of how you can't trust this bench because you're not getting enough production from these guys on a night-to-night basis. So that's putting more pressure on Julius. Luckily, Brunson's still able to deliver in crunch time. RJ, it has a cascading effect on the team. And as this season progresses, as you march up to 82 and then into the playoffs, this is how these guys get burnt out. Physically. This is how these guys get burnt out physically. Now, the whole mental part of it, they've got to use these as teachable moments, as lessons learned, because, Julius, you're going to see that type of coverage in the playoffs. RJ, same way. And the guys are going to be playing much harder. And you're going to have starters playing much longer minutes. So you got to hope that they can learn from these games, man, and that these are teachable moments and that they can execute. Because once again, it was just helter-skelter from 7 minutes on in the third into the fourth. It was just, they were literally just trying to survive. And luckily they did.
You only got 16 points from the bench tonight. That's certainly not going to cut it. You know, bench went 2 of 11 from 3. That's certainly not going to cut it. And so, you know, those minutes definitely not either. So it's an odd way to evaluate this bench right now because, you know, as you mentioned, it's pretty tough when a guard is going out there for 6 minutes. He only gets 2 shots, and you're basically like, that's it, right? Obi, 9 minutes. And it's just interesting to me that for Obi, there's this certain ramp-up period. But then, you know, Grimes comes back, 40 minutes. Brunson comes back off an injury, 40 minutes. RJ comes back off an injury, 40 minutes. And Obi is sitting in his range of usual. So, it's the continuing thing of me trying to figure out what's his long-term future here, what's his role.
Yeah.
I think it's looking more bleak because of Randall's play, right? I just think it gets to a point where Randall is showing you Randall of 2 years ago. Obi, what's his ultimate role if this is the head coach that you're going to have? Because when I'm looking at, you know, the Pacers only had 2 guys over 30 minutes tonight. They had nobody over 35 minutes tonight. I mean, I'm looking at their bench, 28 minutes, 17 minutes, 26 minutes, 15 minutes, 19 minutes. You know, they had a pretty balanced approach there. So there's opportunity there. With this roster and this head coach, you know, roster construction for this team it's going to be interesting because this team is not so much about having the depth. You need to have the correct rotation for the coach.
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, who cares who's the 10th, 11th, 12th guy on this team? They're not going to play.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you have teams that really, they worry about that 8 to 12, you know, part of their rotation of their roster, and they try to strengthen that. It's irrelevant on this team because these guys don't get the opportunity. So I do agree, because of the way Tibbs is, it seems like you need to get either a more proven scorer off the bench, because what's the point of trading another protected first-round pick like they did for Cam for the next 23-year-old? Who's to say that guy's going to play, right? So when fans talk about, you know, what we can do, I think you got to look at the you know, proven players on the market, the Malik Beasleys, the Josh Richardsons, the Will Bartons, those type of players that will come here, and the head coach is not going to have a problem giving them 20 minutes off the bench. Yeah. So this team has a lot of work to do, but in the NCP, these minutes distribution is just not going to work. And I think long term is going to affect the team because, like I said, sample size as of right now in the fourth quarter, they're gassed. They don't have enough left. And when you play the elite teams, you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna make you pay.
We got high standards here at Knicks Fan TV, JD. You know, there's a guy in the chat said, well, you guys acting like we lost. No, obviously we won. And it was a good win, right? They're right there with the Pacers. They're tied neck and neck for 6th and 7th. They've now won 2 games against the Pacers. This is an important game. This is an important game. They have 2 more against the Pacers, 2 of which come during the last 2 out of 3 games. They play the Pacers, they play somebody else, and then they play the Pacers again. It's kind of weird thing in the schedule, but they play them in 2 out of the last 3 games of the season. Very important. So at the worst, they can tie them for the season series, and if they get one more, they can beat them. And when you got to start factoring in tiebreakers against the Pacers, they haven't played Miami yet, and as well as the Hawks. They're 1-1 against the Hawks, so you got to look at trying to win these season series so that you can own these tiebreakers. So this was a key game. We're just talking from a standpoint of how is this sustainable and how will they look if they make it into the playoffs for those optimistic people out there. So that's why it sounds like, okay, we're a little bit negative. It's because we got high standards here. Now, I thought the play of the game was going to be the Brunson three-pointer at 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. And shout out to Randall with the hustle to block Matherin's dunk attempt. They get it out to Brunson. Brunson's able to knock down the corner 3. That was big. That put the Knicks up 110 to 103. Pacers come back down and get a well, after RJ throws the ball away, they get a Buddy Hield 2. Brunson comes back, gets a floater in the lane. Knicks are up by 7. And then Buddy Hield gets the 4-point play. RJ, 2 back-to-back bonehead plays. Buddy Hield gets the 4-point play and brings it back to a 3-point game. And then you had Quentin Grimes, who knocks down his 3 with 25 seconds left. And that was, to me, that was basically ultimately the play of the game. So good job by Grimes. I like Grimes' game overall, man. Like I said, I liked his defense. He was hounding Halliburton. Halliburton ended up leaving this game with a sore knee.
The All-Star.
I like how Grimes
looked like
was
it tonight.
Yeah. I liked how Grimes was attacking the closeouts, had a couple nice passes, couple nice assists, and then was able to knock down the 3. It got a little bit questionable, whether you wanted to see him in over RJ. They did go with IQ there. That's just going to be situational. But ultimately, he did get in the game and was able to deliver. So 119-113, Knicks were able to survive against the Pacers, man.
Quentin Grimes, give him credit for hitting that clutch 3.
Yeah.
You sit, Clyde was talking about, mentioned it on the broadcast. Clyde was so baffled. He was asking his partner, did Grimes even play in the third? Did he play in the third? I'm like, no. He played in the third, Clyde, because he's a starter. So that means he definitely played in the third. But I understand where your pain is coming from because he comes in the fourth and then he hits that big 3. And he hit a couple of big shots. He hit one against the zone on the Pacers. So Grimes had a very good night tonight, and he played great defense on Halliburton. And I got to give him credit there because there was a lot of hype going into tonight with Halliburton playing the Knicks and the whole thing with Wally and the media hyping it up. His teammates saying this is a big game for them, and Halliburton saying that he was looking forward to this. I'll take the performance tonight, albeit yes, he was out for much of the rest of the game after he was hurt, but I still like the way the rhythm was going when Halliburton was in there. I mean, he was a minus 15.
Yeah.
Tonight, he was the highest minus on the team, and so Grimes, very good game tonight, and let's see, Tibbs there, play them there for small ball. It's going to be interesting to see what are the closing lineups now. Will Tibbs, I think that lineup, CP, is going to be something that Tibbs is going to have to open up to because of the way that IQ has stated a case for increased minutes.
Yeah.
And then you got to look at the fact that Grimes has to be out there especially when he's shooting, when he has to be out there because of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a 25-point lead and the team is dwindling and dwindling. Yes, you need to score, but you also need to get stops.
Gotta need stops.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're the one that has more points. You got to get some stops, slow the other team down. Grimes helps you do that. So Tibbs with IQ and Grimes on the floor at the same time, I think that allows you to play small ball, even though you lose the offensive rebounding of Mitch. It's tough, man, because Mitch is a beast on the boards.
Yeah. No question about it, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Throw an emoji in the chat, man. How you guys feeling tonight? Another cardiac Knicks affair, but the Knicks hang on 119 to 113. Call us up 657-383-1509 or hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. See a lot of people on the Discord ready to get their reactions in, so we will get to them in the short. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man. $10 super chat. Everybody throw hashtag PE in the chat. He says, hard to keep it a family post-game show after all the cursing during the game. LOL. Why am I nervous about the Heat and the Wizards? Our win is lowercase instead of win. Sending OGs to urgent care. Another cardiac Nick affair, man.
I'm not worried about them, CP, as long as we can have enough legs in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We scored 37 points in the first. Like, with this roster, we can get off to a good start. We're getting these leads. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, we're getting these leads, so they're happening for a reason, and they're happening earlier in the game. So I'm not, this is a quality win to me. It's a great win. I'm excited because of the win, but you just got to look at it objectively when you see that there's some, troubling things there that are going to, come back to haunt you when you play the good teams. So let's hope that, when they play some of these teams, the Heat game is going to be a very good game because the Heat are starting to play well again.
Big time. And that Heat defense, it can be stifling as it is. So going to be very, very interesting to see how Brunson and RJ, especially the Knick guards, how they respond to that. Let's get to the phones, see what the people got to say. Let's kick it off with Will from LI. Will, how you feeling, bro? Yep.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
There we go. All right, my bad. Appreciate you. Yo, CP, JD, how you guys doing tonight, man?
Good, man. Good to hear from you, bro.
Absolutely, man. Listen, man, I just want to first shout out to y'all. It was today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it. I definitely wanted to win. But just like y'all, man, I have issues with the win. At least how we got the win, bro. Listen, man. Yo, RJ, everybody gets a revamp period, right? You got Obi coming back. He needs time to warm up. Grimes, when he went out in the beginning of the season, he needed time to go up. And then RJ tonight got 41 minutes in, what you've been saying, bro. It just seems like I'm praying that nobody gets injured, but this is just I'm not liking it, bro. It is not sustainable.
Yeah,
we definitely need some help off the bench. Everybody needs to do what they got to do, and I just feel like we definitely got to make some moves this the trade deadline. I just wanted to focus in on one player specifically, Quentin Grimes, man.
Yep.
Quentin Grimes, the godsend, man. That three at the end of the game, I was right there with everybody else, and I'm kind of pissed off. I wanted him to do that last game because last game or a couple games before, I did sign up to Prizepicks, of course, using promo code KFTV.
Yeah.
And I needed him to get them 12 points, man. He didn't get it that game, but he definitely got it tonight. So shout out to Grimes, But yeah, man, I just have an issue with the minutes distribution, man. I just need them to get better with that. But, we'll see what's going on with the next game. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
And y'all have a good one, man.
Enjoy the birthday, man. Be safe out there and turn out for us, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, dog. Take care.
All right. Sasson on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on, man? Y'all can hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. How you feeling, bro?
Good, CP. Good, man. But listen, man, the same way y'all talking about these minutes, we got to hold this man accountable, man. Like, this is, like, I'm literally watching the same thing from last year happen right before our eyes. Like, all we did last year was blow fourth quarter leads. Thank God we have Brunson, because he's able to slow the game down and go get a bucket when time is when we're basically trying to survive in the fourth quarter every single night. And if I see Johnny Bryant going up to Tibbs, reminding him to call timeouts, reminding him to bring in Grimes, Like this is obvious of what's going on, and it's not sustainable, man. It's not sustainable. Or either somebody's gonna get hurt, or we just gonna get into the playoffs and get swept because there's no way, man. It's too Manila, man. Everything that he does is it's either a lot or a little bit. There's no medium. The guy's lost, and he's been like that his whole career coaching. To me, it's not sustainable, man. I'll let y'all go ahead, but I'm sorry, man. But the win to me means nothing if all we're gonna do is try to survive in the fourth quarter every single night. Have a good one.
I hear you. Fair points, man. I think that's a fair point. I think the 9-man rotation. Yes, a lot of teams in the league play 9-man rotations. Okay, I just feel like the at the rate at which our bench is just so up and down, and those are benches in the NBA. But for ours, sometimes you're getting absolute zeros. Like I said, from Hartenstein's, from McBride, they turned Obi into a 3-point specialist. Number one, I think they need reinforcements, and I think they need to be more flexible with the rotation and make certain guys situational.
To be honest, man, to be honest, we were up 25 points at one point.
Yeah.
If it's not tonight's the night to go let them dogs out to go play defense while we up 25 points and give your boys some extra minutes, there's no way that our star point guard, I mean, why is he playing 43 minutes, man? You go look down the line and you go look at their minutes. Everything's just cohesive, man. You know what? This guy's playing right. Here's 25. He like they basically Halliburton coming out the game helped them. Not for nothing.
McConnell, the Nick killer. They let
man.
McConnell pop off. I was waiting for it, and he was just McConnell, man. A pest, out hustling guys. He was in there getting offensive rebounds over 3 guys. I can't believe McConnell's still doing it, man.
Yeah, man. I just hope somebody holds him accountable, man, before it's too late. Because if he's not the future coach, man, then what are we doing? Let's might as well. I wish Johnny Bryant was our head coach, man. If I'm keeping it a stack with you,
yeah.
But the case is, man, like if every night, if we all can look in every single night, watch the basketball game, and literally just wait until the fourth quarter because it's a ticking time bomb, and these dudes have no legs. This man had RJ out there. Bro, he's literally playing 2K with the fatigue button on, and there's no lineup change, bro. Everybody's out there with the Gatorade symbol in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Y'all have a good one, man. I don't want to hold up the line.
No
KFTV,
problem.
show up the likes, man.
Yes,
you already
sir.
know what
Hit
time
that
it is,
thumbs
man.
up button for your boys, man. Sassone on the Discord, going off on Tibbs. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I like that one right there. I thought my man was passionate, and he made some cogent points. Speaking of Tibbs, and speaking of one bench piece in Hartenstein.
Oh God, I know what you're gonna play.
a bad recommendation made by me, but here is Tibbs on Hartenstein, as the media rightfully is asking him what's up with this guy. Here is his Tibbs.
Those guys, but Isaiah's given us a lot of good minutes. So rim protection, ball movement, open the floor up, where we can get downhill. He's a big part of that.
Protecting what rim? What rim? No offense to the guy, but protecting what?
The practice rim.
The practice rim?
The Westchester rims.
The Fisher Price rim that you play with your son in the living room? The rim that you put up on the back of the door that you used to slam on back in the days as a kid? What rim is he protecting? Because I can't see it. I haven't worn my glasses almost a year, but I still can't see it.
Well, he's definitely going to protect those vets. When those vets are asked up to him, he praises them.
Oof.
So when it's quickly is I don't care about numbers.
Right. Right.
Listen. Tough to say because the guy has one more year, and you do want to preserve some value. So you do have to be careful what you say, but you don't have to say all that.
Yeah.
You know, you can people. Everything doesn't have to be so political, right? There are times where a coach can hold the player accountable, or it's okay to say he's struggling right now, or
Like
you know, we're
somebody in
gonna
the chat
look
said,
at
we
things.
expect him to say, hey, say he's struggling. What the people at home, what Stevie Wonder would be seeing right now. He's struggling. Keep it a buck. He's struggling. We'll work with him to get work through it. The guys go through slumps. It's the middle of the season. He'll get through it. Maybe the Achilles is flared up on him. He'll get through it. Keep it 100.
I love how people would say, well, you know, if you say that, you're gonna kill. You don't think these GMs are watching the same games?
Right.
What is there to protect? You know what I'm saying? You know, when you get to a certain point of bad play or consistent bad play, yes, you're not killing the player. You're not calling him out. But it's okay to say, you know, right now things, you know, he's struggling a little bit, or you know, we'll work with him, or
Yeah.
you know, I got to look at, you know, to see, you know, what other options we have. Like you can come up with something semi objective or realistic,
Yeah.
and you still don't hurt the player's value. You still not taking it personal with the player, et cetera, et cetera. But to go to flat out say all this that's not happening actually now. You know, like I understand if you were to say that and say we need to get him back to that. Like this
Right.
guy, you know, I know he can protect the rim. I know he can, you know, he can shoot the three. I know, like you're confident in his abilities, and we need to work to get him there. See, that I can accept.
Yeah.
But you know, Tibbs has his way, and it is what it is.
Shout out Michael Parker in the chat, man. $20 super chat. Salute to our guy, Michael Parker. Here is Jalen Brunson with his thoughts on tonight's win. Here's Jalen Brunson, a.k.a. Captain Clutch. Salute to Knicks Nation right now.
I think we stayed poised, finish out a game, and obviously we want to keep a lead and win comfortably, but that team wasn't going to quit. You know, I got to give them a lot of credit. Yeah, for us, we just got to continue to hold leads better and find ways keep our foot on the gas with a lead. And it's a work in progress for us, but a win's a win, and especially against a team like that who we're battling with for a position. So a win's a win.
All right, so JB says a win is a win, and Brunson also said this. Here's what he said about losing the lead down the stretch.
Yeah, I thought we should have handled it a lot better. I can't turn the ball over. Yeah, I can't turn the ball over. We gotta keep our foot on the gas. We gotta stay aggressive. Still by playing smart, but being aggressive. And a lot of things I could have done a lot better to make sure we won that a little more comfortably. But like I said, you gotta give them credit. Well coached, and they're gonna continue to fight. And that's the DNA that Coach Carlisle has, and all those players have it as well.
Can we get him to the All-Star game?
Can we get him to Utah, man? Captain Clutch, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of SNY Videos.
He makes it about him.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not gaslighting, because when he says those, you know, he evaluates his own game. It's true. Like he had a few turnovers. The last game that it happened, he talked about, 3 to 4 possessions. Those 3 to 4 possessions actually happened. So this is not cliche-ish what he's saying. He's actually really critiquing specific possessions in the game in the midst of when they blow these leads. So that is accountability. That is leadership. And for him to continue to consistently put it on him when the media is asking him these questions, when it's a team thing, and his teammates are seeing that, what it does as a teammate is just motivates you to try to get it right. Because you see, and Brunson is a guy on this team that's going to face the media more than some of these other role players, because he's one of the stars of the team. So when you look at the RJs, the Randalls, the Brunsons, they're going to give the most post-game interviews. His teammates are seeing that he's going to consistently take the heat for you. That motivates you to try to make it right, because he has to stand to the media, and he's going to be a leader and hold you back. So that's why he is so valuable to his team. And guess what? On top of that, he's performing. CP, I don't know where this team would be without him.
Not nearly as good. Probably below 500.
I mean, he's not perfect. There's certain things here and there. I would like to maybe quickly to get more, initiate the basketball a little bit in the fourth quarter if he's going to close with him, just so we don't go like crazy ISO. But at the same time, he is our closer.
He's killing. Captain Clutch once again, 7 points within 5 minutes, which is crunch time there. So Jalen Brunson comes up big once again for the Knicks, and this time they win. $10 super chat from Latinx Travel Club. It says Sassone with 5 stars. So he liked that call. Emil Beaumont-Sor, $10 Australian super chat. And they're going in on Australia right now. Summertime out there. He says, it's crazy that Brunson might not make the All-Star game this year. First time I've seen a high IQ point guard in a Knicks uniform. Where do you think he ranks in our free agency signings?
Is that Brunson?
Yeah. I mean, best one since Stat. And Stat was like, such a flash in the pan. You know what I'm saying?
Stat, you hold on. So you said since Stat.
Yes.
So you're saying, that Stat was a better free agent signing.
No, since was Stat better?
Because before him,
Stat was
before
better.
Stat. That's what I'm saying. So then you would go with the previous, because he would be ahead of Stat. So is that Allen Houston?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, well, by that time, the deal was he wasn't ever going to live up to that with the arthritic knees and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Probably.
But I would say the best since Stat.
Since Jerome James.
It's a better signing than Stat, because you would think, knock on wood, he'll have way more longevity. I mean, Statler was literally a one-year wonder before everything just started falling apart at the seams. Between busting up the fire extinguisher, busting up his back in pregame in the playoffs, and then his knees just completely falling apart. And before you know it, he looked like he was a 50-year-old man in 3 years.
Yeah. 2006.
Yeah.
We signed Jared Jeffries.
Oh, boy. Price is right.
2005, our free agent signing of the offseason was Jerome James.
Wow.
2004, Vin Baker.
Chris Peacock in the chat says CP was too young to remember Allen Houston, who we signed from Detroit. Man, get this guy out of my chat, man.
2001. Allen Houston, 6 years, 100 million. Clarence Weatherspoon as well that year.
Yeah. You're not talking about when we signed Allen Houston in 1996. What was this guy think I am, 10? Come on, man.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Get him out of here, man.
I mean, our history is not that crazy either, so it's not like it's not many. It's
we haven't had many free agent signings, good ones. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had many good ones, but I would say since Stat, but he's certainly a better pickup than Stat will.
The more interesting conversation with Brunson, it's not the free agency, because he's, we don't have many in our history, and he's clearly one of our best. It's the more interesting conversation is when people say he's the best point guard since. That's a more interesting conversation, because people have, you said Marbury, people say Mark Jackson,
right,
Derek Harper, et cetera. So I've heard some people say Charlie Ward.
Jesus.
Everybody has different.
Shout out to Charlie. He's a friend of the program, though. Charlie's always rocking with us on Instagram, man.
Everybody has, they're different, but it's a more interesting conversation.
Sure. Absolutely. All right, back to the phones we go. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Let's get those likes up. Knicks win 119-113 over the Pacers. Big win tonight. Rich Will 33 on the Discord. I'll mute your mic. Rich Will, what's going on?
Hey, how we doing? How you doing tonight?
Good. How you feeling, bro?
Oh, man, this was crazy. Look, man, I've been trying to get in here for a while. Been patiently listening to you guys. You've been doing a great job.
Nice. Rich, do me a favor. You got to, speak up into your mic. You sounding, lower and lower and lower.
I understand. Can you hear me now?
Much better, man. It sound like you in the library, man. What's going on?
All right, let's fix that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you hear me now?
Much better.
Sorry about that. No more Bluetooth. No more Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So we're
Yes.
looking good.
Good job.
Knicks are coming back together.
Hmm.
I'm feeling energy again. These points being dropped is driving me crazy. I got to go for my blood pressure medicine, man. I mean, this is crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I've been watching the Knicks since the '90s. I've been loving what they're doing. But it's a nice slow grow. We're not doing anything crazy. I'm not trying to bring anything in from the outside that's gonna destroy the path that we're heading on. So I like where we're going. I like what we're doing. That's what I got to say.
Okay. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. I told these guys, man, get rid of the headsets, get the feds out of your ear. You hear the static and everything, man. Mm-hmm. You got to go with the courts. Safer, more secure, and good quality sound. You know what I'm saying? So to everybody in the chat, though, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. JD, let's look at this thing by the numbers, man. Let's take a look at some of the stats for tonight. Knicks shooting the free throws well tonight. 84% from the stripe. That was encouraging, especially down the stretch when they were stumbling and bumbling to the finish line. Pacers out-assisted the Knicks tonight, 27-21. Knicks winning the battle of the boards, which I expected, 50-41. How about this one, though? Points in the paint. 54 points in the paint for the Pacers tonight, and only 38 for the Knicks. Very uncharacteristic of the Knicks. A team that likes to keep teams out of the paint. A team that also feasts in the paint. The Knicks losing that battle in the paint tonight to the Pacers, 54-38. And for the Pacers, they average about 47 on per game, which is 19th in the league. And the Knicks average 52. Which is 10th in the league. And I was very surprised, especially with Julius. With Julius struggling with his shot against these smaller Pacer lineups. That's why I just felt like he just seemed out of sorts, both mentally and physically, because I just felt like he wasn't really trying to attack those smaller lineups to draw contact. They rarely had him operating out of the post. Yes, he was getting double teamed a lot, but even against single coverage, I thought he was settling for a lot of jumpers and not really taking advantage of a much smaller Pacer lineup, especially in the third. In the third quarter, they went with Mathurin at the 4. They had James Johnson starting at the 4, and then they went with Mathurin at the 4, and I didn't think the Knicks were as aggressive as they should have been in getting some points in the paint.
And for me, when I look at, the stats, last night, the last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, I talked about the free throw line, them turning around as a team at the free throw line, 91% versus the Bucks going to the free throw line 22 times. Tonight, 85% and going to the line 33 times. So, going to the line more than the Pacers, 21 free throws to the Pacers, 33 for the Knicks, and shooting 85%. That's 2 nights in a row now where they're over 80, over 85% at the free throw line. And as I mentioned, though that type of free throw shooting is going to help you win games, especially when you get into the free throw line 30 plus times. Look at the last 2 free throws. Give credit to RJ Barrett. Right? 2 key free throws. Notice how your confidence starts building, and it's just contagious, it seems like, at the free throw line when a team is struggling. Seems like it just goes around, and the next guy goes to the free throw line, and he misses one out of 2.
Right.
So, as you can see now, versus the Bucks, versus the Pacers, the free throw shooting as well, even though it's an individual player going to the free throw line by himself, it's one of those contagious type of things as well. So that was important for me. And, the only other stat is the turnovers. They have 15 tonight. Mm-hmm. You hope that they can cut that down. And then the 3-point shot, 15 threes, getting up 42 shots. The Knicks need to continue to get 3-pointers up because that's just the way the league is. And that 3-point difference basically, it's basically was the difference.
Yeah.
We won by 6 and 3 threes is 9 points. So that was the difference there for me.
15 turnovers for the Knicks, 13 by the Pacers, and I thought the timeliness of those turnovers was very key, even though it's a relatively smaller number. You know, a lot of those came in the third quarter, and like I said, this Pacer team, they're opportunistic defense. They like to thrive off of steals and blocks, you know, boneheaded mistakes, and then they like to get out in transition, and that's what they were able to do, because as a result, they won the fast break points category 20-6, and a lot of that came in the third and fourth quarter. So the Knicks just not able to take care of the ball. And conversely, Pacers had 13 turnovers and also gave up 14 points off of those turnovers. And I thought Quentin Grimes accounted for a lot of those opportunities for the Knicks, at least 6 points, where he was a catalyst for a turnover, forcing a turnover, which led to the Knicks being able to get fast break points. So good job by Grimes. I just thought he had his hands all over this game. And so that was certainly a good job by him. By the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, the key stats of the night is brought to you guys by Prizepicks, man. Prizepicks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Make sure you guys are playing today and playing responsibly. Go to prizepicks.com and use promo code KFTV for a instant deposit match on your deposit of up to $100. So let's say you wanted to start with $100 on your entry, they will match it, and you have $200 to play with. Let's say you wanted to play something smaller. Say you wanted to play with $20. They will match that $20 deposit, and you will have $40 to play with. And how you play, it's very easy to play. You pick between 2 to 6 players. You can mix and match sports, whether you want to play basketball. The NHL is in season right now. You have NFL playoffs coming up this weekend, big wild card weekend. And it's you versus Prizepicks and their stat projections. They have a number of different stats across sports that you can choose from. And you're just going to predict whether or not the given player that you select will go do more or less than the number that Prizepicks is outlined for that night. Now, JD, I missed the deadline, the entry deadline for the Knicks game, so I was unable to play this game. So I went with the 2 West Coast games that were going on tonight. You have the Sacramento Kings taking on the Houston Rockets. I went with Domantas Sabonis with more than 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That game is at halftime right now, and he has 29. So I think I'm in a good spot with him right there. I have Nikola Jokic, MVP candidate for a third year in a row. I took the Joker at home against the Phoenix Suns with more than 24.5 points. That game is at halftime, and the Nuggets, who have a 16-point lead, he's got 12 so far. So he's about halfway there. In that same game, I took Mikal Bridges with less than 17.5 points. Right now at the half, he has 2. So I'm trending fairly well there. We'll see what happens in the second half. And then I also took Harrison Barnes, Sacramento, hosting Houston with a 5-point lead at halftime with more than 16.5 points, and he has 7 at the half. So I'm feeling good about my sheet right now. We'll see what happens in the second half of these games. How you looking tonight?
I mean, I'm looking pretty good. Building bankroll, but I'm just tight because I'm missing that one. Luka killed 2 perfect tickets, and tonight Tyrese Halliburton destroyed my perfect ticket as well. Another 4 for 5 night, so pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton, I missed there. I had him at more than 19.5 points. I mean, he had 15 in 27 minutes. So if he would have played, I felt pretty confident he was going to get 20 points tonight with the whole Knicks and all that stuff, motivation, blah, blah, blah. I just felt that was a very good pick there. But because of the injury, he got 15, so I missed. I hit on RJ Barrett, 1.5 on the 3-point line, and RJ had 4 threes.
Yeah, good one.
So,
good one.
And he had 2 within like the first 4 minutes of the game. So I hit that pretty early. Julius Randle, I had him less than 26.5 points per game.
Okay.
It's a little bit more of him, shooting 29 attempts last game. RJ coming back. I just thought the usage was going to be balanced.
Yeah.
Playing a young, tough team.
It's a good one.
I just think he's a little tired. I'm pretty confident in this one. 14 points. Jalen Brunson over 23.5 points. He's just red hot.
Captain
One of
Clutch,
those
good one.
things he's going to show up. And he had 34. And I picked Buddy Hield over 3.5 3-pointers. Wow. And my man has 7.
Wow. Good one.
I just felt, this guy is getting 15, 14 3-pointers a night.
Yeah.
He's shooting. So I just thought because of the Knicks scheme, packing the paint, I thought he was going to get enough attempts to get 4. It was a tricky pick, but 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Buddy, 15 3-point attempts. Whoa.
Just trying to get the perfect ticket, but this is why you got to play.
This is why you got to pay to play, man, and play to win, people, but play responsibly. Once again, go to prizepicks.com and use promo code KFTV for an instant deposit match up to $100. They also do instant withdrawals, too, so you get your money out. Whenever you want to cash out, you cash out. You get your cash in hand. You're ready to go, man. So shout out to our guys at Prize Picks. Okay, back to the phones we go. Let's hear from... Okay, I do have Doc loaded up on the Discord. Not sure if he's ready yet. So, in the meantime, let me go back to the phones. I got so many tabs open here. Give me 1 second, people. Hang tight. Hit that thumbs up button in the meantime. Let me get back to the phones. Okay, area code 914 YO. What's your name? Where you calling it from?
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to speak to you. 914. That's a Westchester, but I'm living down here in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I've been looking forward to talking to you guys for a real long time.
What's your name, sir?
I guarantee you. My name is Mark. I guarantee you everybody's going to hate me after this call, but this is the way I see it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Tibbs is the man. The reason why we got guys playing 40 minutes every single game is because we have no bench. We have no bench. So every time he takes out Randall, he puts in a guy like Obi. You realize that this year, not one time has he done his rundown fast break. You know why? Because the other teams figured it out.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get that anymore. So they stick him in the corner. How come when they stick Grimes in the corner, on an occasion, Grimes will give you that head fake and drive? Obi can't do that. Obi's game is to dunk or shoot an occasional 3.
Chatty going in on
We
your boy,
have no bench. That's why we're fresh in the first half. We look great. Second half, yeah, we're gassed because we have nobody to take their place.
Yeah.
And I have one other thing that I completely don't understand. These are professional athletes. These are guys that train every single day to play ball a couple of minutes a week. Why can't a guy play 40 minutes 3 times a week? Are they not in shape? I don't understand it. I know you played ball. I know everybody out there.
Yeah, but we're not ball. NBA players, though, Mark, man. We're not NBA players. That's a whole other ball game, man.
Yeah, but
But
we don't have that training that those NBA players have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys have supersonic training. They should be in shape. I'm not saying they should do it every single night, but I hate this excuse they're gassed all the time. To me, that's BS, my friend. We all played ball.
Old school. Mark, how long you been a Knicks fan, man?
I'm sorry?
How long you been a Knicks fan?
1965, my friend.
We got an OG in here.
I saw 2 rings.
Nice.
I saw 2
Put
rings.
some respect on his
name.
But
I understand the game of today.
Yeah.
I really do. I understand it's a lot more fast-paced. I understand they're running up and down. But I also understand that they run down and then they stand beyond the 3-point line without moving.
He hates
that. They don't do anything.
He hates that.
Mark, who's your favorite Knick of all time?
Yeah, who's your favorite Knick of all time?
Yeah, I hate the 3-pointer, but I understand it's part of the game. I see all of the tomatoes up there.
Oh.
I understand everybody hating my call, but the fact is, if we had a bench, if we had guys to give some guys some blow, they'd be fine.
Pause.
But we
But
don't
Mark,
have anybody.
they making ketchup out of you in the chat right now. But never mind the chat. Never mind the chat. We here, man. We hear you rocking with us. You're OG. We're gonna put some respect on your name tonight. Who's your favorite Knick of all time?
You know, it's tough to say. It's got to probably be Clyde. If I had to
Okay.
put it down, it's got to be Clyde.
Okay.
But my biggest moment of all time in all of sports, is when you heard Marv say, "Here comes Willis."
Here comes Willis.
I remember watching.
Nice.
I remember it like it's yesterday.
Okay.
But listen, I'm a fan. I don't miss a game. I live and die with every one of these games. I live and die when we lose 20, when we go down, when we go up 20, and then they come back. The reason is we have no bench. Let's get some guys on the bench.
Appreciate the call, Mark. Call back anytime, man. Don't worry about the chat. Don't worry about the tomatoes, man. You're
don't worry about it, man. Leon try to find someone to give a blow to the bench. So,
rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I saw a lot of tomatoes. I couldn't answer the whole conditioning part because I can't speak on that. But he has a point on the bench. He has a point on the bench. Guys are getting quick hooks because the bench is largely ineffective. I talked about it earlier. Hartenstein, McBride, Obi. They're not doing anything right now. Well, I mean, let's just call it what it is. So Tibbs calls the panic button. He calls the panic button. Brunson can't even get more than a minute worth of rest. Julius can't get more than 3 minutes worth of rest, and they're back in there trying to save this game.
Nah, man. Chill on Obi.
You
gotta get more than 9 minutes. Yeah, I mean, like.
Look, we know what it is now, man.
You saw that possession when Brunson shimmied Chris Duarte, drove to the sideline, kicked it out, corner 3, gave it to Obi. Obi could have shot the 3.
Yes.
Gave it back to the corner. We got a 3-pointer out of that possession.
Yes.
That's nothing on the shot. That's nothing on the box score. Nothing there goes on the box score. But you saw the energy that he brings. But 9 minutes, it's early.
That's tough.
He's getting in the groove. He hit the 3-pointer. He was confident. I think you could get more out of Obi. I mean,
well, look,
you know, Hartenstein, I get. Boom. Can we make the switch to Sims there? Quickly, he's gonna come off the bench. You want consistency there. Obi, that's 3 pieces there. You may need that 4th piece in replacement of a McBride. But I don't think they're as, you know, the way it's just there's no minutes going to them. But I do think they need 1 piece as an aggressive scorer. Jordan Clarkson or Malik Beasley, like somebody
Clarkson
like that.
Off
I don't know.
Like too, man. Clarkson went off. Yeah, only 9 points for Obi, and see, like this is the Julius effect. This is the Julius effect.
So this is the Julius effect.
Yeah.
So you replace Obi with who? And that guy's gonna come in and play 10 minutes. So you're telling me we can bring someone here that's gonna score 12 points in 9 minutes every night? Because if this is the production, this is the minutes you're going to get, does it really matter who is playing those 9 minutes?
Yeah, because they're going to take McBride's spot.
Right. For McBride, but that's 1 player.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, here's the tricky thing about the Knicks bench is, and this is why Quickly is so important here in terms of the consistency factor.
Very important.
Quickly tonight got 26 minutes off the bench, and he's a guard. And you already have starters that are going to get heavy minutes. Let's say you bring another guard here, right? How many minutes is that guard going to get with this rotation?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put him for McBride. So that new guard is going to come here to play 10 minutes.
But see, because that new guard is going to be more effective, bro. So you're going to be able to rest your guys a little bit more into the 4th.
But that's what you're hoping the coach is going to do. That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. That's why I said the player
Alec
that they
Burks
bring in here
to differ. If you're on point, you're on point. You know what I'm saying?
No, if it's Alec Burks, that's what will happen because the coach trusts a player like him. That's what I'm saying. Alec Burks is what? He's a veteran.
Yeah. But that's what you're looking to get at the deadline, right? For the bench. At least I think that's what they would be looking at if they were going to be buyers.
It's just the way this coach is. Does it have to be a certain level of bench player? Because that will warrant the minutes. Or does it have to be just anybody that's just a veteran that can score? Because like you said, if it's Burks, I think Burks can come here and get 20 minutes off the bench.
Right.
Tibbs will give him 20 minutes.
I think a guy like a Beasley would get that. He's a proven scorer. Right now, Tibbs does not trust the bench. And when he sees, as he said in the press conference, no lead is safe, 25-point lead ain't safe. Panic. Oh, saw this. Oh, Jalen, you played the entire third? Okay, welcome to the fourth quarter. You played all but 1 minute as well. Julius, oh, you've been tired all night? Okay, 3-minute rest. We need you back.
I don't know, CP. I'm going to rely on history. I think it's just template coaching. I think it's just who he is.
Yeah, I'm not saying
will be
it'll
adjusted. Work. But somebody, okay, Malik Beasley comes. Okay, Malik Beasley will play 25, 30 minutes. Somebody in the starting lineup is going to get 20 minutes, and then we're going to be like, why did Grimes play 20 minutes tonight? Why did Quickly play 15? Like, I don't think he manages it in a way to where it's going to be so balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always an extreme effect that it has where somebody you're wondering, like tonight, Grimes doesn't play the whole third quarter. Fournier doesn't play the whole third quarter, but Fournier plays 8 minutes in the fourth. Grimes doesn't play the whole fourth quarter. He played the third quarter. I'm sorry. He doesn't play the whole fourth quarter, and he plays the last 50 seconds. Like, it's just the way he manages the minutes. I don't feel comfortable trusting that an improvement on this roster is going to balance it. I just think it's just going to shuffle it again. It's just tricky with Tibbs.
What I would say, though, and what I said on SOI today, like if they don't make a move at the deadline, they got to figure out the Obi situation. I had to get more production out of him. That's not just a 3-point specialist. Because like I said, the bench is depleted, man. They've got to figure out how to get that guy in limited minutes more production. Do they go back to the Obi Julius lineup and take Hartenstein out of it?
And if they star hunt, that's just going to increase those guys' minutes because that means that the bench is going to be further depleted, which means Tibbs is going to trust it less.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You go out and try to get a Levine, you're going to have to give up, more than a few players and picks.
Right.
Which means it's going to, while you're getting a quote unquote, borderline star player, you're depleting, your roster, which means somebody has to move up in the rotation, which means that guy is probably not going to get many minutes because Tibbs doesn't trust you.
That is a whole fact, man. Let's try Doc on the Discord once again. Doc, go ahead and unmute your mic. Doc on the Discord. Give him a shot. Doc going once. Doc going twice. All right, Doc, you're going to have to try again. Night Terror on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Night Terror.
Yo,
how you feeling, bro? What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Yo, name's Ken. Calling in from Jersey, but I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. Saw the game tonight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, I agree with JD on these minutes, man. Like, the minutes distribution is crazy. And I understand what you're saying, CP, about we don't have a bench, but we do have a bench. We're just not utilizing them right. We brought in Hartenstein to space the floor. But since the beginning of the season, I've just seen him move closer and closer and just stay by the basket now. And we have Obi here that we saw at the end of last season, he has more in his game than just a 3-point shot. That's just a part of like an evolution to his game. Like, we can't run a pick and roll while Hartenstein is in the corner so we can space the floor. We're not thinking of innovative ways that we can use these guys. Like, yes, McBride, he cannot shoot threes. But one thing that I do know, he can shoot the mid-range shot. We cannot have a play for him to get that shot. Like, so we're not even gonna like play to our player strengths. We're only gonna do that for the players in the starting lineup. But we're not gonna do that for the bench now. We're just gonna stick Obi in the corner. And we're just gonna have IQ run the show. Like, come on, we gotta switch things up, man. Like, we have a bench, we're just not utilizing them right.
Okay. All right, but appreciate the call.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, Ken. So Ken says we got a bench, man. We just gotta rock with him. I hear you. I hear you with the Hartenstein thing in terms of how he's being used. I don't think he's being used all that well either. But I'm also I'm not as high on these bench pieces as a whole. You know, I'm just not as high on it. Shout out to Quickly though, but
shout out to Cam.
Who? Who are you talking about, bro? Oh man, he said shout out to Cam.
Oh man, I'm hurt.
That was fun while it lasted. Shout out to Cam.
He better get traded.
Yeah,
because if he's still here after the deadline.
Right.
I think they find a way to play him, to be honest. If he's here past the deadline, I think he'll find a way to the rotation. There's no way that he would be here past the deadline and he's going to be just totally benched in the contract year. I just can't believe that. Especially if we don't do anything, if we don't do much.
Yeah.
They'll find a way.
The whole thing's just weird, man. It's just weird. I don't even know.
Well, settling, Clutch Sports. Yeah. You don't want to listen to me, but hey, relationships matter.
Yeah,
relationships matter.
They said Noel, you owe the money. Matter of fact, you're gonna lose the case, and not only that, you owe Rich Paul money. Whoa, how did that happen, man? Captain Bodycast. Now I gotta cut the check. Yeah, legal system is a mug, boy.
The Knicks, man. The Knicks are bad luck for me.
Yeah, legal
Knicks
system.
are bad luck for Rich Paul.
Wow. So to everybody in the chat, once again, man, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. KFTV Postgame Live presented by Manscaped. We got 2,000 people in the chat, man. I need you guys to do a couple things. Number one, hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Share this video right now and subscribe to the channel. Now, as I said, this show is presented by Manscaped, fellas. The #1 men's grooming tool below the waist. Do not be out there caught lacking. Go out there and get that new Lawnmower 4.0. This one is a game changer. Now, this one I'm holding, this is a special edition one that they made last year. It was in a purple trim for Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. So this is real, like, custom, special edition one. So you can't have this one. But what's good about these, man, it comes with the LED light, so you can do it in the dark, whatever you guys are into. It's got a nice ceramic blade, skin-safe technology, so you don't have to worry about those nicks, the bad nicks, not the good nicks like these nicks, the bad ones. Great battery life and also waterproof, so you can do it in the shower as well. Like I said, whatever you're into, you get into it, but just don't send any testimonials. And for our viewers, the deal is always go to manscaped.com and use promo code KFTV for a 20% off discount plus free shipping. So it's a good deal. And you can go to the website. They have not only the Lawnmower 4.0, but a ton of great men's products. And they've got some new ones coming out as well that we're going to debut in just about a week or so. So stay tuned for that announcement. Like I said, go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping.
And forget the Van Gundy this week. Get the Brian Dabo.
Forget the Brian Dabo. Let's go. Get the Brian Dabo, man. A complete game changer. All right. Let's go, Giants, man. A couple more calls. Area code 804. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yo, this is M.
M.
What's going on, fellas?
Where are you calling in from? South Carolina?
Nah, Virginia.
Okay. M from VA. M, how you feeling, bro?
Good, man. Listen, man, I got to make it simple for you.
Mm-hmm.
Our personnel is fine. The problem, like my man JD said, is the use of the resources we have. Tibbs, I understand you say he's stubborn. I'm treading on the fact that he ain't stubborn, man. He's just stupid. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You look at the minutes, the way the minutes distribution is happening, it's bananas. It doesn't make any sense at all. The way he can use the resources that he has, I'm not saying our bench is great, but we're not terrible. And I think the timing and the use of Brunson, giving him those sneak rests late in the third quarter, a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the third quarter, you're up big, give him a blow, bring McBride in. I don't even understand how Grimes is sitting on the bench all the fourth quarter. It's one of your better defenders. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. He got stuck there, but he ended up getting him in there and bailing him out.
Yeah, that's twice, though. He did the same thing in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He did the same thing in Milwaukee.
He did.
He had
Fournier. He had Fournier out there
hot from deep. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got, fellas. I love your show, man. I love your show. You guys are very straightforward and frank, and I appreciate it. But I love our team. I think we should be at least 10 games over 500 right now. We should be at least 10 games over 500 right now.
Okay. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, bro.
All right. It's my guy from Virginia on the check-in.
I don't think Tibbs is that, but
no, I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say that because I just think it's kind of like the caller, Mark, right? Mark came in and Mark said, that why do players, why is it a big deal, the minutes? Mm-hmm. And Mark is the old school OG. Mm-hmm. And if you come from the old school of Hard Knocks, 70s, 60s, 80s, baby, even 90s, there's a certain way that you think about when players are now, complaining to refs or playing time and fatigue. You come from a mindset that's different. I think Tibbs is just one of those coaches that has a certain mindset, and that's just the way. That's what he just believes in, and it's a good thing. You want coaches in sports to have their system and have a belief in them. Mm-hmm. I think what separates it now in today's modern way of sports is the flexibility of it. Is you come in, you get hired at a position, you have your philosophy, you have your scheme, you have your system, but are you able to adapt or be flexible to the personnel? And Tibbs is just one of those guys that it's the system, this is the way that I do it, and this is what I believe in, and this is the way I'm going to die.
True story, man. Let's go. A couple more calls. Rapid fire. HF Bro on the Discord. Rapid fire. Let's go.
What up, fellas?
How you doing,
it's,
man?
Carl from the LES.
Carl
you guys
from
hear
the
me?
LES. Yeah, Carl, how you feeling, man?
Feeling good. I know we're throwing a lot of shade at Tiz, but I think he deserves a lot of credit. He's a two-time Coach of the Year, right? We got one of the youngest squads in the league right now.
Okay.
They're growing pains, Tibbs, he's one of those guys where he really places a lot of trust in the starters. Mm-hmm. I get it. A lot of the bench guys, they need to earn his respect, ultimately, right? They're getting there. There's obviously been some drama with Cam, lost his respect, and that's why he's riding the pine right now. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, listen, Tibbs, the Knicks, the team, they're slightly above expectations right now.
Sure, I agree with that.
We're beating the right teams. Our guys are performing. We got stars emerging in Grimes, for instance, and quickly. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, what more can you ask for, right?
Okay.
That's why I'm not hating on all the shade being thrown at Tibbs right now.
All right, that's fair.
That's all I got to say.
That's fair. Mark sprinkling some optimism. He's going the other way. I like that. All these Debbie Downers in the chat, man. We won the game tonight. 119 and 113. Shout out to Tibbs.
Coming from a guy that when they won 8 games, you're like, talk to me in April. Talk to me in April. Yeah.
I'm just the pilot of the ship, man. This is the people's show. You get your comments in, man. I bring it to the chat. I'll let the chat decide. The chat is the judge. This is the people's show. You people in the chat decide whether you like the call or not. You throw the tomatoes, you throw the fives, you throw the fire. I'm just a conductor here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Next 2 games, must wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
at Washington, at Detroit before you come back home. Got to win those 2 games.
Shout out to Mark Confessor Clemente. I'm trying to understand what kind of currency this is. It's 250. I never seen the symbol before. I don't know if it's pesos or what. It says, oh yeah, Knicks young core getting minutes this season, but do you think the young core would be more skilled and more valuable if the Knicks got a different coach since 2 seasons ago, like Kenny Atkinson? Certainly
That's
possible.
Millions.
That's what?
That's millions.
That's the million symbol.
I'm serious. That's millions.
Salutes. Salutes.
You were like, that's what?
Yeah, right. I was like, what? Yeah, we got to go. Yeah, what currency is that, Mark? If you're in the chat, man, go ahead and do that. I don't think that's OG Mark. OG Mark was in the chat. He was like, yeah, you could throw tomatoes at me if you want.
Yeah, so
he's from the old school. He said, I seen 2 rings. He threw shade at us, though. At the chat. Not at us.
He's old school. He's old school. He's mailing you a super chat.
Yeah.
He'll send a check.
Yeah.
Okay, he's putting it in here.
Okay, they said that's a Philippine peso. So shout out to the PI, shout out to the Philippines. We heavy out there, heavy in Australia as well. Shout out to our guys out there in Australia. Summertime out there. I'm a little jealous. It's getting nippy out here in New York. Philippine peso. Okay, appreciate it, man. We got a history lesson in here. So right, so I said peso, so I was right. I really meant Mexican pesos, but okay, Philippine peso. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you gotta learn your foreign currencies. You know what I'm saying? Never know when you might need it. What else? Knicks win 119-113. Welcome back, RJ Barrett. Certainly got off to a hot start to begin the game. And it showed no real rust until really the second half. Just looked like it was more tired legs. Jumpers were falling short.
Bro,
had a couple of boneheaded plays.
RJ looked like an all-star the way he started. It was a different the way he started the game. I'm like, wait, did this guy miss any time?
Yeah.
Because he was like decisive. You know, in the first quarter, he was 2 of 2 from the 3-point line, had 8 points, in the first half, which was the strongest half. He shot 50% from the floor. He had 16 points in the first half. And then it wasn't until the second half where this is what we were saying. Like, you couldn't project that was going to happen. He was 3 of 11 in the second half, 1 of 7 in the fourth quarter, which he played all 12 minutes. All 7 3-point attempts in the second half for RJ came in the fourth quarter. And once you start seeing those shots fall short, Clyde loves to, say that, that's when fatigue starts to settle in. So, but the way he started the game, I think it's an encouraging sign, CP, because RJ is, he's had this history of slow starts. And although this is not like the start of the season, it still has been a stretch since he's played. And you were concerned about rust. How can he, how he's going to fit in? And the way the team started, he was a big part of that 25-point lead. So you hope that, he can take it into the next game. And I think that's positive because I was thinking, here we go. We're going to have to wait another 15 games or 10 games or 7 games before RJ gets in rhythm. And it doesn't look like that's going to be the case this time.
No, I agree with you. Certainly looked good and was able to pick up from where he left off. He was averaging 23 points on 47% from downtown when he left. Shot 9 and 23 from the field tonight, 4 of 12 from downtown, 5 of 6 from the stripe, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. So with that being said, JD, you broke it all down. You might as well give me the player rating, man. Player ratings presented by KnicksFanTV.com. Make sure you guys are going to KnicksFanTV.com to check out Remy's recaps and player ratings. He rates every single player that played in the game. And we also have a ton of other articles on trade deadline. We have Stock Watch, article on Julius up there. So the KFTV.com is rocking. KnicksFanTV.com specifically. So make sure you guys are going there to support. What are you giving RJ tonight, man? 1 to 10.
I'm going to go with a 10 minus 2. I'm going to go with a solid 8. I already broke it down. So pretty much I'm not really, going to put too much stock into the second half struggles because he ends the night 9 of 23. I'm going to focus on his start, the 8 rebounds, the 4 assists, and being able to play 41 minutes. I know it wasn't a knee injury or anything like that, but you're still dealing with conditioning. You saw him in the second half, got a little bit tired, but because of the way that he started the game, I'm going to give him a solid 8 tonight.
I'm going to give him a 7.5. Crunch time execution, man.
Wait, you're giving RJ a 7.5? You hear that, RJ?
I'm docking him a half. Docking him a half. The late turnovers got to me a little too much. I had to dig into the crates.
12 minutes in the fourth.
Listen, I had to dig into the crates, man. They had me digging in the crates tonight. Where's my
that Buddy Hield foul was terrible.
It was atrocious. It was atrocious. It was worse than Buddy's teeth. Those things piss me off. Every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, oh my God, bro. Where did you get those?
All up in the videos.
Bro, where did you get those yucks from, man?
Yeah. You don't even see his lips. Wait,
I think those are real, though. I don't know if we confirmed this or not, man. Are Buddy Hield's teeth real? Really are they dentures? Did he get work done in like Uruguay or something like that? Like, those things are crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
Those are some choppers. those are like Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Those are rims.
Those, you know what I'm saying?
Wheels.
Word. Those are some choppers, man. Shout out to him, though. He's having a great season, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's definitely having a great season, though. Shout out to him. Shout out to Buddy, man, for real.
You take him on the Knicks?
The way he's playing now, prior to this, I would have said no. But the way he's playing now, sure, man. Sure.
He's a guy that I eventually see going to a team. Maybe not this season, but in the near future. The Buddy Hields are the players that have had their run on the NBA as a starter, and then they eventually transition into that bench role for a contender, a contending team.
Yeah.
I think that's the future for him. He's going to go into a situation in the future. He's going to be open to a bench role for a team, and he'll prove to be effective in that, because what he does is shoot. And a team like us, we could definitely, we're talking about Malik Beasley. You're talking about similar player skill sets right there.
Yeah, we just went in on Buddy real quick. I just had to get that out, man.
I'm talking about you can't even see his lips. Going on
joints like.
Yeah,
them joints are some chompers, but that boy can shoot though.
Yeah. Shoot.
So I give RJ 7.5. Good return. Glad to see him back. Glad to see him shooting the ball well, at least in the first half. But, some of those plays down the stretch, man, we don't need that, man. Like I said, we can't even inbound the ball on the pressure, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But good to see him back. How about Julius?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with a 6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 6. I hate to say I hate to give him a 6, CP, because part of it I don't even think is necessarily his fault, because I think he's starting to just really get fatigued. And that's been the theme tonight, is all these guys are playing a ton of minutes. But I think you're starting to see some of that catch up to him in some of the mental mistakes in the fourth quarter, some of the turnovers. He had 6 turnovers tonight. Only 12 attempts in 39 minutes. So not too bad. 16 rebounds, 14 points, +9. But I just expect more when you're talking about a player being in the All-Star conversation. And as Mark says, it's not a big deal, right? So
yeah,
I'm going to go with a 6.
I'll give him the 6.5 because of the boards and the 4 dimes, and also the block. The block that he had on Mathurin that led to the Brunson 3, I thought was going to be the play of the game, which was at about the 2:12 mark. And that had put the Knicks up by 7 at that point, I believe. I got to go back and look at my notes. But I think that had put the Knicks up by 7. To me, that was a big play. Was good effort by him, a nice block, and then that led to the Brunson 3 in transition. So I thought that was good in crunch time. But overall, yeah, he looked tired. Like, he looked tired. Even in the face, he looked tired. And I thought he settled a lot. He couldn't handle the double teams, the pressure that was coming at him. 6 turnovers. It was an off night. It was an off night. So I give him a 6.5. I give him the extra half for the effort that led to a big play in the fourth quarter. Fritz Marty said 7. He's got a 7, 16 rebounds on a crucial block. Come on, guys. I give him a 6.5. Yeah. I give him a 6.5. It was an off night. Brunson.
Oof. I'm tired of giving this guy a 9. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to hold him accountable to his post-game press conference. So I'm going to go with an 8.5 instead of a 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go with an 8.5 only because he's mentioned now a few games in crunch time. He does, he's had this, his only turnover, but it was a key turnover. And, not much else. 34 points, 3 or 4 from the 3-point line, perfect from the free throw line. Yeah, that's a tough grade on him tonight, I will say. I'm only a 0.5 because of the fourth quarter, that one turnover. He said himself he can play better at those positions. So that's just, it's one of those 8.5s, but anybody else, his performance will be a 9 to 9.5. But the tough graders, I'm going to hold him to 8.5 tonight.
I'm going to give him a 9. They don't win this game without him.
Yep.
7 points again in crunch time. He had 14 Monday night against the Bucks in crunch time. With Julius ineffective and RJ maybe fatigued, no legs, needed somebody else to get you there. And Brunson got it. I'll give him a 9. 34 points coming off of a 44-point outing. 11 to 20 from the field. 3 or 4 from downtown. Perfect from the charity stripe once again. I give him a 9.
People be really tripping over a 0.5. JD, it gotta be a 9. That's why I told y'all. Yeah, it's a 9. I'm tired of giving him 9.
Man, that's player ratings for you, man. It's
Isaiah Hartenstein. Well, we're not gonna do Isaiah Hartenstein.
No.
Okay.
No. I think we'll wrap. Player ratings and go to. Let's go to the closer and get up out of here. Jay Boogie, let's go. Jay Boogie, you going once? This is Jay Boogie's number. 919 area code. What's your name? Where you calling in from? Oh, I thought this was Jay Boogie, man. Threw me off. All right, we gotta pack him up. Okay, let's go to area code 484. You're the new closer tonight, man. What's your name? Where you calling in from? Make it good. Pressure's on.
Hey, what's up? It's Ricardo. I'm out in Allentown from Staten Island. Watch you guys every night.
Appreciate it.
Sounds real funny when I hear you. Sounds real funny when I hear you guys over the phone because I'm always watching over the TV. So it's like it's different. It's ringing in my ear right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, long story short, I give Randall a 5. I'm listening to your player ratings, and you guys got me. My brain's just blowing up right now. I'm like, huh? Like, did you not see that one turnover where he threw it right to the opposite team?
Yeah,
like,
it was
no
bad.
one. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm thinking Rocky. Hit the man in one. Hit the one in the middle.
The one in the middle.
What are you doing here? But long story short, right? I'm not going to defend Tibbs. I agree with everything you guys say. He's constantly doing the same things. He needs to do something new, but he needs talent too. And we really do need more talent. Like I'm watching this team, and I'm like, why do we keep having these fourth quarter meltdowns?
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to last year, this is the game we would have lost. What's the difference? Brunson.
Yes.
And I like the step that Barrett made. I like the step that a lot of our guys are making, but we still really need talent. What that looks like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when Grimes sits down, you miss his defense.
Mm-hmm.
You have Quickly in the game. He's giving you offense, but his defense isn't Grimes.
Like, of course his defense is
we
good.
got to find some type of happy medium.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's all I got. I'm happy with the direction we're going. I was you know, from Allentown. I don't got MSG out here, so it's like I have to get NBA League Pass. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do it to myself this year. I'm not gonna do it, and I find myself doing it every year just to watch the games. You know, I like where we're headed, but definitely we really do need more talent. I don't know why people thinking we're gonna hit 50. I mean, it's not like we're going for a chip right now. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I think we just need to be realistic, be patient, and hopefully Leon Rose starts making better moves going forward. Like in the draft night, I was pulling my hair out, and I have a full head of hair.
I hear you, man. I definitely hear you on that. Appreciate the call, though.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. All right, here we go, man. So I think we've carved this thing up more than enough. Good show, everybody. Good show, all the mods. Good show, TM. Good show, Chuck D. The Rhyme Animal with us. Good show, everybody in the chat. All the regulars, man. Good show, JD. Knicks win 119 and 113. Beating the Pacers in a big game. Big game, man. Knicks now up 2-0 in the season series against the Pacers. So at worst, they can tie. And at best, they can win the season series and take a tie break over these guys. In the event, they end up tied down in at the end of the season. And they have 2 more games against this Pacer team. 2 of the last 3 games against the season come against this team. So important game. Very important game and a good win despite blowing the 25-point lead. So good job by them. Let me shout out the super chats that have come in. A shout out to Mont Blanc Nolan says, guys, who should be our number 2, Jules or RJ? I can see this becoming an issue next couple of games with RJ trying to reestablish himself. I wouldn't really say, you know, number 2 or not. I just think just let the game dictate. Just let the game dictate. And if RJ's able to knock down threes as he has been, if Julius is able to regain his shooting stroke, they should be fine. You know, the starting unit was starting to play very well. They together they shot out to an 8-game winning streak. So they were coming together. So I don't think it necessarily matters who's the clear-cut number 2. We know in crunch time you go to Captain Clutch and get out of the way. Any thoughts on that, JD?
Nope.
Richard Williams, $5 super chat says, who would you like to see join the Knicks next as a starter and why? As a starter. I mean, who's the next superstar available, you know? At this point, you got to go one tier up. So, to me, I need somebody who's either better than Grimes, better than RJ, better than Julius. I like what Mitch is giving us right now. Can you get Joel Embiid? Who knows? You know, the star player that's out there, starter. I mean, right now we're talking pipe dreams. So, yeah, you know, would love Embiid. Would love Devin Booker. Would love Bradley Beal. You know.
You're hoping for Luka to wake up in a year or 2.
Yeah.
Wake up one day and pull a Kevin Durant. Just says, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
I mean, or James Harden. Like, that's like when you're looking at that type of tier. Because the problem now, CP, is free agency is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the whole 1-year deal with Kawhi, you know,
LeBron.
Anthony Davis, like LeBron started that. You know, bet on yourself type of thing. But now, it's not. It's dead because players are not as healthy as that era. And so now the free agency is players are just signing that long-term extension. They're securing it, and then I'll worry about it later. They're going the mellow route.
Right.
And when that happens, you're looking at trades and losing some leverage. So it's just a different market. It's a different era now in terms of player acquisition. Because at this point, like who a team is gonna build cap space for who? For what?
Right. Yeah. That's the situation, man. Well said. All right, man. Well, Chuck D says Tibbs is not going to let experimentation fire him. Shout out to Hoodies Vintage. I think I got that one. Blacktop says Tibbs is our biggest rivalry. Oh, Hoodies Vintage says close win. Brunson is him. Tibbs isn't. Where was Grimes when RJ was getting cooked by Buddy? Everyone knew that 25-point lead wasn't safe with clown Tibbs. Shout out Emil Beaumont once again. Junior Karoma said Tibbs running them to the ground. By the time the fourth quarter comes, they have no legs. And with RJ, we will probably lose this game. Thank God he's back. Sergey M says NBA national TV contract is up for renewal. Is it possible they need more exciting games? No, I think what they've had is okay. I think I'm trying to understand this one a little bit better. National TV contract is coming up for renewal. Is it possible they need more exciting games? I think they do a pretty good job. You know, whether it's TNT or ESPN getting some of the marquee matchups, I think they do a pretty good job. Fritz Marty.
There's always a trip with Barkley when the Knicks are not playing.
Yeah, well, we know that, yeah. Fritz Marty Jr., $20 Super Chat says, thank you for the shout out. Shout out to Fritz Marty Jr. K1 DK Euro, $10 Super Chat says, Tyrese Halliburton or Tim Burton? I don't care. Wiley was right. Get Action Brunson to Utah. Salute, man. Yeah, man. Good show, everybody. Remember, prizepicks.com, promo code KFTV for instant deposit match up to $100. Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Support our sponsors. You support us. Remember that the show's available in audio podcast format as well. All the major podcast platforms, so no reason to miss it. When are we up next, man? Friday, JD?
Friday at the Washington Wizards. They won a close game tonight against the Bulls, and they were down 3. Zach LaVine somehow wanted to shoot a mid-range shot with 3 seconds left. I sent you the video.
I saw it.
You could take a laugh at that.
Oh, man.
And the Wizards are now 11-8, so don't sleep on them in terms of at home, because we're going to Washington. So
there you go.
Good opportunity to early game at 7 o'clock. So good opportunity to go, 24-19?
Yep.
So let's go 5 games over 500.
Let's do it, man. Great show as usual. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys Friday night. Number 1 show for the fans by the fans. Make sure you tap in, share this video, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We out here. Peace.